फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वलितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। ॐ कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं श्रीकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं श्रीकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। We were discussing yesterday the glory of chanting Gita, and in that we saw if you are not able to chant whole Gita, 18 chapters, whatever you can, half, one-third, one-sixth, or one slok daily, or even one word of Gita is enough. You will attain the highest. And he said, by repeated study of Gita, one attains the highest liberation. Uttering Gita at the time of death, also only the word Gita, if one utters at the time of death, he attains the highest goal. Enough. गीतार्थ श्रवणासक्तो महापापयुतोऽपि वा वैकुण्ठे वैकुण्ठं समवाप्नोति विष्णुना सह मोदते. One who reads Gita and analyzes its meaning, contemplates over the meaning, he directly goes to the abode of eternal abode of Lord Narayana Vishnu, and he resides there for eternity, not to come back again to this cycle of birth and death. गीतार्थं ध्यायते नित्यं कृत्वा कर्माणि भूरिशः जीवन्मुक्तः स विज्ञेयो देहान्ते परमं पदम्. One who meditates on the meanings of the Gita, even though he does all sorts of worldly duties, he is called a Jivan Mukta, liberated while living. And after the body casts away, he goes to the highest abode of the truth. That means the eternal truth he attains. Mala nirmojanam punsam jalasnanam dine dine sakrid gitambasi snanam sansara malanasanam. When we get some dirt, we wash it away. By what? Water. We take a dip in river or some lake or water pond to wash out our bodily impurities. Every day one takes bath in water. But one who takes a dip in water of Gita means juice of Gita, means the meaning of Gita, that is juice or extract, that is water. So one who takes a dip in Gita water, he is ever free. After the body is lost, he straightly goes to the highest truth, the eternal truth he attains. Mala nirmojanam punsam jalasnanam dine dine sakrit, even once gitambasi snanam sansara malanasanam. It not only washes your mind, speech and body. When the mind is purified, your body is purified, because mind is everything. So once one goes through Gita, that means it takes a dip in Gita's meaning and gets saturated by it, then he is free from the impurities of the world, whole world. World, impurities of world or impurities which is known as world. Both. World is a kind of solidified impurity. Dualism is impurity. So, once you enter into Gita and take a dip in its meaning, all the world thoughts or the desires of sense objects, they get away forever. They will not return back to you. When we take a bath in water, we get dirt again and again. But once you take a dip in Gita water, you are free forever. No more impurities you can have. It washes away all the impurities of the mind. Here we can take the impurities, means all sorts of doubts and all sorts of ignorance. They are the impurities which cause miseries in this world. Gitam astritya bahavo bhubujo janakadaya nirdhuta kalmasaloke Gita jata parampadam. Many great people like King Janak in this world, taking refuge in the Gita, they have reached the highest state of goal, purified of all sins. It is so sung Gita song is so sung. Once you have taken it for your support or help, you are saved from every problems. And examples are great. People like King Janak and many others. We have so many examples. Ye shrunvanti pathantyeva Gita Shastram Harnisam Nate vai manusajnaya deva eva na sansaya. One who reads Gita every day without fail, in this world he is known not as a human being. He is not a human being. So what is he? Superhuman being. He is a God on the earth. Gods enjoy some kinds of pleasures in heaven, but once your mind is purified, wherever you are, you can enjoy only bliss. Yatra yatra mano jati, tatra tatra paramritam. Wherever the mind goes, whatever thoughts are created by the mind, they are nectarian bliss. Yes.
Swamiji, this all the practices, they say, this life is bondage, and when you get moksha, then you don't come back. But this sounds negative, like this life seems like a prison, which might be true. But is it also true that this life is a blessing from God, and it's not as negative as it is portrayed? Is that also true?
Both are true. Always I say, the coin has got two sides. From which angle you are looking at. It is God's grace that we have got a human body. I told you human body it is free to use its discriminative power. If the discriminative power is used, he is a human being. And if it is used properly and utilized properly and got the benefits, then you are not a human being. That is what he is telling. So, to get that discriminating power and to get a pure mind for a human being, Gita is support. Gita is the purifier. So if not, then you are worse than an animal. So from which angle you see this life of a human being and how it is used, how it is lived. So if you are a human being, you are a human being only when you use your discriminative power, or else four things are common in animals and in every being, in human being also, and in God's four aspects: ahara, nidra, bhaya or maithun. Eating, everybody, all the whole world is food only. One is food for the other. So nobody can remain without food. Let it be any kind of food. But some energy you want from the food. And every being receives some food to keep up his life. Human body also. And Nidra, when you work, everybody has to do some actions. Nobody can keep quiet even for a moment. That is how the beings are created. You are in the process of the nature. So nature is based on changing phenomena, everything changes. So that is action and reaction. So everybody in this creation, every being is bound to do something or other. Nobody can keep quiet. Only as yogis, exceptional cases, some extraordinary beings, special beings, they only can keep quiet for some time if they try in a skillful way. Ahara, nidra. So when you work, you get tired. So you have to rest. That is called sleep. Every being wants rest because he is tired after working. Bhaya, dvetad bhayam bhavati. When there is two, there is fear. You will have why? Shall I fear my friend? Only I can fear at the enemies. Why should I fear my friend? But you see, the world is made of pairs of opposites, and when opposites are there, when good is there, bad will be there. So pairs of opposites, good and bad, or day and night, or anything tall or small, fat or lean, anything. So if you see, if these two fingers, one is short, other is tall. So the taller one is afraid of the shorter one, because when he is short, one day he may become taller than me. So I will be suppressed. So there is visible or invisible fear always continued when two are there. Competition is there, fight is there, that means comparison. So naturally there is fear. If you are small, then you are afraid of the bigger one, because he will dominate over you. Relationship you cannot deny. Two means they are related, they are dependent. Why this is small? Because this is big. That's why it is small. If one is there, no comparison, no fear. If two is there, then starts fear. So it is said, it is formula, dvetad bhayam bhavati. When two are there is fear. So everybody, every being is afraid of the other. This is the law of nature. So if you have a friend, you are afraid of your enmity. Maybe the friend becomes enemy tomorrow. And really speaking, in practical day-to-day life, we don't find enemies somewhere else. Our friends only become turned into an enemy. Enemies are our friends only. So you are afraid of somebody or other. Ahara, nidra, bhaya, fear, and there is propagation of your being. Everybody is in this in the process of multiplying, because it is started with the momentum, I am one, let me be many. So every being in this universe has to multiply. That is the rule of law of nature. Yeah, on this basis only the scientists say the energy or the space or time is ever growing. Growing means it is not growing space-wise, it is within itself, but multiplying. In motion, it is always going ahead, so spreading and multiplying and growing. When the dot travels in a circle, is it not growing every moment? Going in a circle? A circle is nothing but the pathway of a dot, isn't it? So it ever grows. The world is a cycle. Everything is growing within itself. It is not space-wise. The moment I say it is spreading, you have the idea of space. The calamity from one village spreads to the other village. Corona spreads from person to person, isn't it? But this world growth, it is not like that. It is in a cycle. So growth is inside, inward growth. So in this way, all the four aspects are seen in every being, but human being only has the power of discrimination, extra something special. If it is used properly in the need of the hour, then you are human being, or else you are ordinary being. You are an animal without a tail and horns. Because you are similar to animals. This is how you have to see from your angle, how do you look at this world, this human birth. If you are using it properly, you are blessed. It is grace of God. If you are not using it properly, you will go to hell. Hell and heaven is nowhere, somewhere outside. It is your mind. You will suffer. Suffering is hell. Enjoyment is heaven. Both are temporary. One after another, it goes on in cycle. So in this way, human being, human birth is of course very precious. It is by the grace of God we have this body, so it should be properly used. And that proper use is, if you obey the master's order, obedience, then everything is at your hand. Whatever you need. The highest goal is to rest forever, not to come to this miserable cycle of world, birth and death. So that is the goal of every being, whether knowingly or unknowingly, directly or indirectly. Everybody wants the absolute bliss. Whatever we do, our aim is to have some pleasure, and that pleasure should not be interrupted. It should be unbroken, undisturbed, eternal pleasure, that is called bliss. In world, whatever we enjoy, it is disturbed by something or other. It is interrupted every now and then. So that is how the cycle goes on. After death, we take birth. After birth, we get death. After pleasure, we get pain. After pain, we get pleasure. So goes on in cycle. So in this way, we should obey the words of the wise men, and we should follow their paths. Mahajana yena gata sapantha. Whatever track is trodden by the great people, we should follow that. And Arjuna and all great kings have followed this path. That is what we are discussing now. And Gita guides you in every respect of life, every aspect of life, every moment of your life. Gita can help you because it is told by some universal being. So it fits to all the lives in the universe. So it is enough for any person. All other songs are sung by individual beings. That is what I explained to you. Isn't it? Krishna, we must know the author. How is he? Who is he? What is his qualification? What is the depth of his knowledge? Who has written this book or sung this song? This is how ज्ञान कृतम नित्यम ये शृण्वन्ति पठत्येव गीता शास्त्रम अहर्निशम न ते वै मानुषा ज्ञया देवा एव न संशय. One who practices Gita every day and night incessantly, he is not taken as a human being. He is God on earth. He is superhuman being. ज्ञान कृतम नित्यम इंद्रियैर जनितम यत् चजत तत्सर्वं नाशमायाति गीता पाठेन तत्क्षणम. Whether you have done some mistakes, some sins, some forbidden actions, knowingly or unknowingly, by senses or by the help of mind, you have thought some bad thoughts against somebody, that is also sin. And by any means, if you have done some unwanted actions, forbidden actions, knowingly or unknowingly, somehow or other, that sin is washed away the moment you chant Gita, because it is knowledge of fire. Fire burns away anything you put into it. It doesn't consider whether it is a rubbish, nonsense, garbage, or it is gold. It is equal to everything. Whatever sins are occurred, it is washed away by the knowledge of Gita. Dikdasya jnanam acharam vratam chesta tapojasa gitartha patanam nasti nagamas tatparo jana. Split at him, damn him, fee on the learning, conduct, observances, activity, and austerities, and renown of the person who has not studied the Gita. He is lowly indeed. He is the lowest being indeed. Sansara sagaram ghoram tartumichhati yo janah Gita nabam samaruya param jati sukhena saha. We always take this world to be a ocean. It is very difficult to go across. That's why it is compared with the ocean world, and full of miseries, dangers. Every moment we face some miseries. And such is the world ocean. And one who wants to go across this world ocean, he has to take the help of the boat Gita. It takes you across so easily. You are safe. Gita is the boat. Gitaya pathanam kritva mahatmyam naivajah pathet vritha patho bhavet tasya srama eva hridarutaha. One who reads Gita and doesn't go through this glory of Gita, his effort is useless. It is not worth read. One who doesn't hears the glories of Gita after the Gita part, his effort goes in vain. Nothing he gets. It is a little exaggerated. No good action has ever any bad result, but it will be so negligible. It is equal to non-action, means it is not read. Etan mahatyam sanjuktam gītābhyāsam karoti yaha sa tad phalam apnoti durlabham gatim apniyat. One who reads Gita with this glory of Gita also, he gets the result of Gita part, chanting of Gita, and he attains that goal which is difficult to get for others. It is really worth reading. In this way, the glories are told in shortcut. There is no end to the glories. Sutta uvacha mahatyam etad gitayaha maya proktam sanatanam gitanteja patedyastu yaduktam tatphalam labhet. Sutta, when he was asked to narrate the glories of Gita, he ends the glories by telling one, I have told the glories in this way, and one who goes through Gita Mahatmyam, glories of Gita, after reading the Gita, whatever it is said in the glories, he is bound to get it. In this way, the Gita Mahatma, the glories of Gita we have heard, and then, of course, knowing it, we have to enter into the lake Gita, the ocean Gita, to have a dip. Okay? And before that also, there is some type of some rituals one may do, may not do, but it is the right process. You see, Anganyas and Karanyas. Anganyas, Karanyas means whomsoever you worship, you have to be that and worship the deity. This is the law of Karma Kanda. The Karma Kanda means the Karma Yoga. Whatever yajnas or all these rituals you do according to the instructions of our scriptures, you have to follow this rule. Suppose you are worshipping Lord Krishna, so you have to be Krishna to worship Krishna. If you are worshipping Lord Shiva, you have to be Lord Shiva yourself and then worship Lord Shiva. How it is? You have to, because Lord Shiva or Lord Vishnu or anybody, your whatever is your deity, he is the absolute truth. Don't think he is lesser than any other gods. Why? Because the truth is all-pervading and ever-present in every atom. So what to speak of all these super beings who are controller of this universe, sustainer and destroyer and all other coordinators, they are called gods. So when we worship some gods, they are no way lesser than the absolute truth. Just as we go to have some support, some help from any of the government departmental heads, they will take you to final government. Government is one, president is one, but it is spread all over the country in different ways, different departments, different branches. Everywhere government is present. Similarly, that highest government, the truth is all pervading, so it is present everywhere in all conditions. So don't think your deity is lesser than any other gods or the supreme. And whatever mantra you chant, whatever this Gita or Vishnu Sahasranam or any chantings you do, it is not less than other chantings or other mantras. One will lead you to the absolute one. Anyone can lead you to the absolute one. If you are having some relationship with some peons, some orderly person in a small office of some government, you are close to the government, you you have relationship with the government only. Government is one. Similarly, whatever you do, it is only goes to the highest Lord. So don't think you are lesser than others by any way. You should not limit yourself. So in that case, you have to think you are that, and then you should worship that. That means continuous thought of the Absolute in your deity should be there. So for that, you have to, by mantras, you have to invite that deity, a personified truth, in whatever form may be, personified, manifested, absolute truth. So you have to invite him. You are the secondary God. He is the first-hand God. Because we are doing everything in dualistic world. So you have to invite that God and establish him in your body. So your body, mind, everything becomes that. And then you should think, I am that. And that's how you have to welcome that God in your body and establish it. It is called prana pratishtha, or it is done by karanyas, anganyas. Simply we have the hands, everything is done by hands, mostly. And our senses of knowledge. So we have to invite that God, your deity, with the particular mantras and establish it in your hands and your all other senses, and then you become that, and then you should worship that. This is called anganyas and karanyas. Nyas means renunciation. You have to forget that this is my hand. You have to forget these are my eyes. It belongs to the Lord. That sense is hidden there. You forget yourself and think of the Lord. You have renounced your limbs of the body by inviting his limbs in this body. So he is present here, not you. In this way you can think of the deity all the time, continuously. This is the secret of anganyas and karanyas. So it is done in this way. We should not go too far to it. And tomorrow, if Lord Krishna allows, so tomorrow we shall see. No, Gita Dhyanam, how to meditate on Gita. Tomorrow we shall see how to meditate on Gita. What is the form of Gita? It is some abstract form because it is knowledge. So we have to meditate on Gita in what way? That means we have to draw our mind from all the worldly activities and give our attention to Gita in this way. We shall see tomorrow. Gita Dhyanam. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। कृष्ण भगवान की जय। हरि ओम। कृष्णार्पणमस्तु।